Well, hello there, welcome to another edition of the Cryptic Mystic, and today we're going to be doing some cryptic doubles again. I've got a subscriber who's volunteered to go through a crossword written by Melanie Branton on crosshair.org. Please check out Melanie's page on crosshair.org. There'll be a link in the video description. Her crosswords are fantastic, especially if you're a beginner. She usually, makes her crosswords around a theme of a particular type of wordplay, so you got a good chance of getting a lot of practice in and just on the one crossword. Today's crossword we're going to do is a bit of a mix of wordplay, and the subscriber who's got in touch is called Mallow, and they're from the United States. So without further ado, let me introduce Mallow. And here is Mallow. Hello Mallow, welcome to the channel.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you doing today? You're in the United States, you tell me?
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. And tell us a bit, just for the people who are watching, just to get a bit more context, tell us a bit more about how you first got into cryptics or your experience with cryptics.
I don't think I remember how I got introduced to cryptics. I think since I really like doing puzzle hunts, some of them have included cryptics, so I think that's how I found them. Right.
Okay, I see. And you're aware of, we're going to be doing one of Melanie's crosswords today, Melanie Branton and crosshair.org.
Yep.
Who does fantastic sort of cryptics aimed at beginners and usually around a theme. So you mentioned you've done some of Melanie's crosswords previously, so has that been your sort of entry point into cryptics then from after you first discovered them?
Yeah, I guess I can say so.
Yeah. Okay. They are a fantastic resource, so if anyone's watching this and is interested in learning more about cryptics, definitely visit Melanie's page on crosshair.org. She must have over 100 crosswords there now. Many, all different sizes, like 3x3, 5x5. The one we're going to do today is a 7x7 one, and she normally has a theme as well, which is around a particular type of wordplay. But we've chosen one today that's got a mix of wordplay, so hopefully it'll be an interesting puzzle for us to solve. Great. Okay, well that's the intro's done then, Mallow. Are you ready to dive into this crossword?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, fantastic. I'll just the viewers can now see the screen that we're looking at. So like I say, you direct me where you want to start. I'll read out the clue, and then then I'll hand over to you so we can hear your thoughts on what to do.
All right.
So where would you like to start?
So I think the first clue I kind of looked at was 6 across.
Okay, so 6 across. So returning to rescue the setter's shifty. What do you think is happening there?
So the first thing I noticed was the words returning and shifty.
Mm-hmm.
Returning, I know, is a indicator for reversing something, and I just thought that shifty was an indicator.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think? What sort of indicator do you think it is?
Probably an anagram.
Yeah, it could be, definitely, because it's something shifty. That could indicate it from an anagram. Where do you think? Obviously, the definition is going to be one of those two.
Now that I think of it, the definition might be returning, because it might be I have to mix up the letters in setters to get something called returning to rescue.
Right. Okay. Okay. What have you seen the word set when you see setter in a crossword? Does that have any? Have you seen that before? Do you know what that particular can signify?
I don't think I have.
What it tends to do, what they're doing, it's actually the crossword setter themselves referring to themselves in the clue. So usually when you see setter in a clue, it's usually coded as I'm or me, that type of thing. So it's normally a straight sort of synonym. So it's tricky sometimes to work out which one it is. It can be I've, I'm, me, I. Sometimes if the setter has a short name, it could even be the name of the setter. They're a pseudonym. So it's likely that is in here as well. Where it's going to be something like I am or IVE or that type of, those letters are going to be in here somewhere. But yeah, you picked a tricky one to start with. Absolutely. Do you want to maybe come back to it?
Yeah,
We have some check-in letters, yeah? Where would you like to go next then?
I see 7 across.
7 across. Okay, let's try that. So we have engineers, English article and German article on Sun for newspapers' regular clientele. Nice clue. What's happening there?
So I do notice a lot of things.
Yeah.
First thoughts, I think engineers is probably going to be the definition.
Okay.
And then I see English article and German article, which is basically just the articles in their respective languages.
Yeah.
I know that the English articles are either a and or the. German articles, not so sure.
Okay. They can be like der is one, der.
Yeah.
Or I think die as well is one, but definitely I know der is quite often used.
And then the word regular in newspapers, regular clientele.
Mm-hmm.
That is taking like just a set amount of letters from a word.
Yeah.
So for a clientele is probably going to be that. What I'm thinking first is every other letter.
Yeah. Okay. It can mean that, or sometimes that can be more if it's regularly.
I see the word. Oh wait.
What do you think?
I see. It's not really spelling anything, but I would probably need that for later.
What do you think there? So you think potentially the engineers is a definition?
Yeah, I'm also starting to think that clientele could be it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a particular word in here I point out quite a lot on my shorts when I'm when I do sort of the clue for the day. There's a word in here that's actually indicating where the definition is, and it's a word. It's called like a link.
For.
Yeah, for. Yes, exactly. When you see for in a clue, you should investigate that. A lot of the time it's a link word between the wordplay and the definition, and usually everything after the for is the definition. So I think the definition here is newspapers' regular clientele, actually, which is an interesting definition. I
don't know what a clientele is, so yeah. I guess I'll figure that
out. Yeah, so the clientele are the sort of customers of a newspaper, I suppose. So the word plays at this end here. So we have engineers, English article, and German article on Sun.
So I think the last 3 letters are going to be Sun, and engineers is I think an indicator for English article and German article. Right.
Okay. You think that's like say an anagram of some description?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I see. Yeah. Okay. There's an alternative thought to that as well. Is that engineers is one of those things that are, very particular to cryptic crosswords. You get abbreviations for engineers. Usually referring to engineers in the army. To the British Army, you got Royal Engineers. It can be abbreviated to RE. So whenever you see engineer, think sometimes you can see artist. It's RA, for example, like a member of the Royal Academy. Well, engineers very often RE. So I think this is using engineers as to code like a synonym basically. So it's RE, and then English.
So RE in this article.
So we got RE to start with, yeah. Now,
English article. I'm thinking it could be A.
Yeah, I agree. It's A, yeah. And then we have.
And then the last letter could be Sun, which leaves one last letter for a German article, which.
Sun is another word that's very regularly abbreviated.
Oh, I think it's. Oh, so German article would be der.
Yeah.
And then it's just readers.
Readers, yes. There we go. So newspapers' regular clientele, or it's readers. Yeah, that's a tricky clue. There's lots of blind alleys to go down there. But the definite things to pick out, as you mentioned, obviously article. When you see article, it's usually the an or a, and when it's mentioned with a language as well, then it's going to be in that language. But the sort of thing that makes that clue a bit more parsable is that word there for, just to highlight or signpost where the definition is really. Cool. Right, we're off the mark. Mallow, nice one. Where would you like to go next?
3 down.
3 down. Okay, let's try 3 down. So 3 down is men providing frozen water in a hole.
I think men is the definition, which is what providing is cluing.
Okay.
And then frozen water can clue ice, and putting that in a hole, that could mean hole is the container for ice.
Yes, that could work like that. Yeah, definitely. So you got men, and then you have frozen water in a hole. So you need a word for hole.
That is the right amount of letters.
Yeah, if you think it's going straight into the word hole, so we got HOL and E and then ice around it, ice in the middle of it, maybe.
It's probably something else that's happening.
I think it is. I think it's again a bit like the engineers one we had before. Men is one of those words, very particular in the cryptic, and it can refer to soldiers, actually, like men in the army, or it can also refer to pieces on the chessboard as well. You know, sometimes that can be how it's clued, but I think to invest. Go ahead.
Providing could be an indicator for a container as well, I think.
It could be, yes. Could be. It could also be, I think this clue, I don't necessarily know if providing is a wordplay indicator. I think this clue hasn't got any particular wordplay indication going on. It's like a charade clue. Do you know what a charade clue is?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I know what it is.
So basically, a charade clue is it also can be called like a Lego clue, in that it's a clue where there's no wordplay in terms of making an anagram or reversing or anything like that. Basically, what you're doing is you're putting together tiny little parts of synonyms or abbreviations and clicking them all together to make the word.
So ice is probably the last 3 letters.
Yes, that's a good conclusion, definitely. So this is the last 3 letters. This is the wordplay part is called the wordplay part. The charade part is here, and then in a hole
is the definition.
In a is basically linking. It's just like neutral words that mean nothing here, and hole is a definition. Now, man is one of those. Like I was saying.
Oh, I think providing is cluing the word if.
Yes, exactly.
So
yes.
The answer would be orifice.
Orifice, yes, exactly.
But how does men clue or?
Well, this is where, again, it's one of those British things to do with the army. So there are many different abbreviations, just like the Royal Engineers in the previous clue was an army reference. Men as well, obviously, you can refer to soldiers as your men. And, there's a sort of a grouping in the British Army where you could call them other ranks. So you got like officers, and then you have other ranks. So OR is an abbreviation of basically soldiers, to describe a group of soldiers. So other ranks here is when you see men or when you see soldiers or that type of thing. Just think sometimes it can just be OR that you're going to use there. So that's where that comes from.
All right.
Yeah.
I think the next place I want to go is 4 down.
4 down, right. Figures, terrible nurse is embracing doctor.
Right. The first thing I notice is terrible being an indicator for anagramming.
Yes, I agree.
Which I think is happening to the word figures.
Okay.
I also see the word, but I see is in there, so...
Mm-hmm. What about this one here? Embracing? What do you think that means?
Oh, wait. I think figures is the definition.
Yeah.
So, terrible nurse is embracing doctor, which is another container clue.
Yes. Lovely. So, embracing is a container word, yes.
So, doctor could also be abbreviated to DR.
Can do, yeah. There are a few different abbreviations for doctor.
Oh, not just DR?
Not just DR, no.
Like a doctorate?
Well, now that we're talking about it, I can't remember. I know the abbreviation, but I can't remember what it stands for. But there's another way of talking about a doctor, which is MB.
Oh, MD.
MB, M for mother, B for Bravo. So you could have you're along the right lines. You're making an anagram of nurse, and that's around this 2-letter abbreviation for doctor, which is MB, and the whole thing means figures.
Oh, numbers.
Numbers, yes, lovely. Good disguise there from Melanie, because obviously figures can be, there's 4 different meanings for figures, isn't there? But it's numbers. So we have the NU, we have the nurse around the MB. And someone's going to be shouting at the screen now what MB stands for, and I can't remember. It's literally just gone out of my head. But yeah, MB is a common abbreviation used in cryptics for doctor. Brilliant.
It stands for Bachelor of Medicine.
There we go. There we are. Probably written in Latin, probably. Where would you like to go next?
I don't really see any ones that I notice anything out of, but 5 across looks interesting.
5 across, let's go. Bounder and mother imprisoning the setter to get metal.
So I think I see the definition is metal, as go by the words to get.
Yeah.
So Bounder and mother imprisoning the setter.
Yeah. Do you remember what I mentioned earlier about this particular word, setter?
Yeah.
What do you think imprisoning means in this clue?
It's another container clue.
Yeah. Brilliant. Perfect. So we're putting together bounder and mother, which is imprisoning the setter. So you think of
I don't think I've heard of what a bounder is.
A bounder is like a scoundrel, like someone who's up to no good. Basically, would be a bounder. Again, I don't know if that's translates across the Atlantic or not, but it's a word it's not so much in use now in the UK either, but it's definitely a word from the 20th century.
I'm thinking the clue ends in an M, so mother is probably going to clue mom or the British spelling.
Yeah, I would go with the British spelling, definitely. So you think this is a U here then?
Yeah, ending in IUM does make sense because it's a metal.
Yes, true. And then we have the beginning of mom as well, imprisoning the setter. The setter is going to be I here. That's the
I was thinking about titanium, but that's too big.
Yeah. I'm going to put the M in here because this is the mom imprisoning the setter here.
Oh.
So now we just need a 3-letter word for bounder, and it's one of those words. Again, I feel like we're in a very 20th century vocabulary here. So it's someone who's a bit of a rogue. You can't really trust. Again, in cryptics this not bounder so much, but this particular 3-letter word comes up a lot in cryptics for like a rogue person. Maybe if we come back to it when you got if you try the.
It sounds like it's going to be a periodic table element.
Yes,
which the only one I can think about is cadmium.
That'll do. That's what it is. Mallow.
Oh.
Yeah. A cad is like a bounder. A cad is a rogue. A cad is someone you can't trust. A bit of a. You don't know if they're telling you the truth. They're probably trying to swindle you out of something. Someone, especially the sort of the connotation of these things is someone who's a bit of a ladies' man. Who's maybe playing lots of people off at the same time.
I don't think I've heard of that one, but I haven't heard of that word before.
No, there you are. Great stuff. Yeah, and the great thing about cryptics is it does definitely open your vocabulary a lot, especially your British vocabulary anyway.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 clues to go. Where would you like to go next then?
I think I'd like to do one across.
One across. Okay, we're going back there. Right, we got mythical beast, melted coin in pot. What are your thoughts?
First thing I thought was mythical beast is the definition.
Yeah, I would agree.
Melted coin in pot. Could melted be another anagram indicator?
I think it could be, yeah, definitely. If you're melting something, you're changing its substance, aren't you? You're changing its form. So yeah, I would say that's a good.
And then I get another word for pot.
Yeah. So an anagram of coin inside a pot.
I think it ends in N, so can?
Could be. Thinking, what mythical beasts do you know?
Like in Greek mythology, like I can't name one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
There's like Titans. There's wow.
Yeah, this is tricky. I think the pot as well. So we have a 3-letter word for pot, and then we have the
like pot, a can, a tin,
because the word
probably
it's actually sort of an older word for pot. I think it's something you maybe
a pan,
even older. Like I'm thinking Roman times.
Oh,
more of a container. I suppose you could call it a pot as well. The mythical beast as well. I don't know. This is like obviously this. Yeah, it's still pretty prevalent in modern culture. This you see it everywhere actually, especially if you think Disney films.
Like Beauty and the Beast, or
yeah, think of like it's also the national symbol of Scotland, I believe.
Oh, a dragon.
Not a dragon, no. Close. Dragon's wheels, actually.
It's Wales. Because it's on their flag.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. This is
Scotland?
Scotland has a... It's a horse-like.
A griffin?
No. It looks like a horse. It's got one.
Oh, a unicorn.
Unicorn, yes. Exactly. So we can see the anagram of coin.
So it's an urn.
An urn, yes, exactly. An urn's like a sort of, you don't really get urns anymore, do you? They're quite old clay pots, aren't they? But yeah, there we go.
Oh,
unicorn.
I think one down. I have the answer for. Ready?
Okay, let's have a look and see. Relative and Queen Anne are ambiguous.
So relative means uncle.
Yeah.
And that I got the word unclear. So.
Yes. Fantastic. And do you understand why it's what the Queen Anne?
AR?
Yeah, so that would be Anne Regina. Sort of Latin. So like usually in cryptics you talk about the Queen. When the Queen was alive, the Queen of England, it was always
you missed the N in unclear.
Oh yeah, so I did. Thanks for that. When you're talking about kings and queens in England, anyway, they're always referred to in their Latin tense. So this would be like the current king is Charles Rex, so CR is his sign, whereas the Queen Elizabeth was ER.
Oh, because Rex is king in Latin.
Yeah, and Regina is queen in Latin. So luckily it's got the same. You still use an R. So Anne, Queen Anne would be AR, Anne Regina. Brilliant. Well, you did well there. Fantastic. And the word obviously means ambiguous, unclear. So we got 2 left then. We got 6 across, the shifty one, and 2 down, which we haven't looked at yet actually. So which do you fancy trying?
All right.
You want to try 2 down?
Yep.
Okay, so we got at home with the late Princess of Wales, in part of the US. There we go. You're a bit closer to home there with this clue.
I'm looking at it. I think the answer might be Indiana.
Yes.
And I know a Princess Diana is a person.
Yes.
Exactly. And then at home could mean in.
Yes, exactly. At home nearly always means in a cryptic. So if you're at home, you're in. If you're out, you're not at home. And yeah, Diana's referring to the late Princess Diana, Charles's first wife.
And 6 across, I think I see too.
Okay, 6 across. So returning to rescue the setter's shifty. What are we thinking is happening?
I think it's going to be an anagram of Melanie, which is the name of the person.
Oh, I see that. That's quite cool.
Yeah.
But it's not. But I can see your thinking there. That would be very nice. It would also be a bit. I mean, usually in cryptics, if you're making an anagram, the letters have to be in the clue. They can't be. You can't make an anagram of a synonym. In some parts of the world, they do allow anagrams. They're called like secondary anagrams. But if you're playing by the rules as it's sort of defined over time in the UK crosswords, then if you're making an anagram, the letters have to be in the clue itself. So that can see that was definitely, there's definitely potential for Melanie in there. So what are we doing here? Is it returning? I think you mentioned to begin with. Returning can be an indication of reversal. So I think this is the wordplay at this end.
I think the answer is evasive.
Evasive, yes.
Because to rescue means to save, and then save backwards, and then I've.
Yes, exactly. The setter. Fantastic. I think we're there. We are indeed. Well done, Mallow. How did you find that?
It was fun.
Yeah, good. Would you recommend other people put their hand up and volunteer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a really good experience.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I think you did really, really well. There were some pretty tricky clues in there. And I think you handled them pretty well. Obviously, with every clue, as you can see, there's always like 2 or 3 avenues that you can explore, and usually blind alleys to go down before you finally get to the final answer. But that was great. Thank you again for agreeing to do this. It's brilliant. So there we go. Mallow's completed the crossword. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let Mallow know. I think he did a fantastic job. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell as well if you want to hear about other videos in the future. And if you fancy getting involved like this, like Mallow did as well, send me an email. You'll find my email in the channel description. Would you recommend someone does this, Mallow? Yeah. Yeah? It was good fun? It was fun. Yeah, good. That's good to hear. I had a great time as well. So, okay, well that's it from us. So thank you very much for watching. And it's goodbye from me. And it's goodbye from Mallow. Bye, Mallow. Goodbye. Bye.